welcome back to the podcast.
Oh, we are live. What's going on, everybody?
We have a special guest today.
Right there.
Hello.
Okay. Anyways.
Wait, what? So this is
to get
episode 7, right, guys?
Huh?
We made it this far.
Dude,
Wait,
I
it's
stopped
7?
counting. I stopped counting.
6, 7.
I don't even know.
Don't quote me on that, guys. You will
So this
find
is
out
episode
shortly.
39. Ain't that crazy? Man, we really just been going. Your dimension is already getting bad.
I feel like we keep
Here,
getting forward.
Let me solve the problem.
Jake and me keep pushing our mics forward so we can see.
Where are you going, you
yeah,
little
we're over
boy?
here
Come
trying
here.
to do a mass.
Get over here. Oh, okay.
I feel
Anyways.
like I'm on the sea.
Oh my God.
We have a whole different energy right now. Is that drink giving you wings?
Oh, dude,
Oh, wait,
that was
did
funny.
you see that
was a good
video?
one. Huh?
Hold on, there was a video that Red Bull posted that was the guys in the wingsuits and they were out of the atmosphere. It was pretty crazy.
See that.
You know, I will say Red Bull does some crazy advertising.
That's my thing, dude.
That was wild.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
like
did you
10 guys.
You showed me that. That was
Yeah.
pretty impressive. I thought it was fake at first.
Isn't that super funny though? That like now all their ads have 2 eyes in the letter wings.
Wait,
because,
2 eyes? I've never noticed that.
Yeah. Oh, what?
Maybe
You
I don't watch
wait,
enough of it. I
Wait,
don't
hold
know.
on. Oh, well, I'll have you know I spend all my time watching Red Bull commercials. Got a lot
And
of
you didn't
free
see this
time
one?
as an unemployed actor. So, so basically. And we're
Basically.
going to make this a reel because this is interesting shit. Zoom in. So basically, oh my God, when was it? It was like,
it out.
geez, 2013, 2012. It was a while ago.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
couple
10
sued
years
Red
ago.
Bull because,
okay.
and they won because they're like,
Wait, what
Red
they sue
Bull.
for?
Because it doesn't give
Because
them
it
wings.
doesn't give you wings.
Oh, literally.
And they won.
Literally.
Wait, you never heard about that?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
No.
dude.
Well, I've never really drank Red Bull.
I've never drank Red Bull.
You haven't gotten the wings?
No.
So, anyways, back to the story.
The real story.
They
yeah, okay,
sued Red Bull, and then Red Bull had to pay them out, and that's why all their
That's
commercials
funny.
now, wings is spelt with 2 eyes.
Oh.
Fun fact.
I didn't.
Learned
Okay.
something new today.
Yeah, dude.
I
Yeah.
will say it was I did hear about their like starting campaign. It was obviously years ago when Red Bull
Oh,
was
so you heard
first
about
coming
that, but you
out.
didn't hear about them getting sued.
No. I
Okay.
didn't hear about that.
Cool.
But to emphasize on my idea again.
Yeah.
So
Idea? Ding.
my thought. Thank
Mm-hmm.
you.
You're welcome.
But before they were starting out,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whose idea it was, but obviously they got a bunch of empty cans, and they were, I believe it was New York. It was a big city. I think it was New York,
Mm-hmm.
but they basically filled the streets, all the trash cans, and like little like areas where it was
With Red
popular
Bulls?
with empty Red Bull cans, and that's how they started out because it just sparked the mind of like, what is this? Let me go try it. So all the stores are filled with obviously
That's
Red
so
Bull.
interesting, because when I see an empty can of trash, I'm not like, oh, man.
no, but
I
when you
need to
see a
try
No,
that.
but the-
lot of empty
But
cans
the
of
common
the
eye,
same
you think a lot of
can-
people are using it. So you're like,
You
what is
can't change
this?
my mind. I made this decision. I wouldn't do it. Leave me alone. Oh my God. Okay. Anyways, gosh, both of
been
you
on
guys
energy.
looking at me like, no, but if you saw it, no. All right. If I
right.
saw a bunch of cans in a trash can, I know me.
The
I know
same can?
who I am as a human being.
Are you saying you're never gonna change? You're never gonna grow?
Wow.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay.
You know what
Wow.
growing's for?
What?
People that are impatient.
Or people that are short.
Staple that. Put it in a book. Jake Austin Walker. Growing is for impatient people.
This is gonna go
Oh,
with your
man.
letters to yourself.
Oh yeah. I don't. Yeah.
Unfortunately, that one.
Oh man, dude. Also,
So-
what's amazing reading those letters to myself? My spelling got so much better.
Praise
Wait, when did you
Oh,
start
man.
writing those letters?
Oh God.
I thought it was recent.
Yeah, I was like 18.
And your spelling just got better?
Okay, so let's not make this about me. It's our podcast. So, anyways, you know what's really go ahead.
I was going to say, what are your guys' thoughts on that new Apple Vision Pro? Do you see like the videos of people walking on the streets with them on?
I
and
mean,
people
look,
doing
there's-
everything at home. It's kind of funny.
There's probably one amazing use for that thing that no one's really talking about. And if Apple ever, do you want to know what would blast those sales up? Truthfully,
We're waiting.
Dropping the price by half?
no, screw dropping the price by half. They need to advertise what people are actually going to do with it. All they need
Yeah,
is one
yeah.
video of like a young guy buying an Apple Vision Pro, right? And then you just hear like the like the Pornhub thing, and then that thing's going to be sold forever. I'm telling you.
I didn't get it though.
Okay, whatever. My whole point is that they're not realistic with it. They're like, oh, people are gonna do their Google calendars with this. They're gonna do all this stuff, and it's like, no.
No one's going to do a Google Calendar with that. No.
Okay. Do you have one?
No,
Okay.
but that's
know
not what
what?
I've heard about it.
What have you heard about it? You're like,
I've-
dude,
I-
shut up, dude. No one uses Google Calendar on their Apple Vision
I've
Pro.
heard it's more like the I didn't even play this either, so I can't even describe it with proper context. But a lot of people described it as like the Pokemon Go thing, where it's all like the whole virtual reality playing a game.
Mm-hmm.
Like people are saying that it's like you can walk with it. Like obviously you can do your everyday habits, but you're gonna run into other people. Like it's a whole virtual world.
It just reminds me of Wally.
Why?
love Wall-E.
Ollie.
Wait, why Wally?
Well, because remember Wally? Yeah, Eva. Remember Wally?
Eva.
Like everyone was like super.
On a screen?
Can we say
Like,
fat
locked in?
anymore? Everyone was.
Well, you just said it.
I know, but I don't know if it's like a nice thing to say. Everyone was.
Is it PH?
wa-
Wait,
No,
what?
you misunderstood me. I said fat with a PH. No, everyone was like really quite large, and in those.
Well, because
Well, I
they
mean,
didn't move. They didn't move.
in those
No, but they
like
didn't have their
floaty
muscles.
seats, and and they had those screens, and they could just like scroll and do whatever they want.
Yeah,
that's
it's
what
a,
Vision.
It built
That's
a very
what.
lazy culture in a
Yeah,
way.
man. I would just like love for an Apple commercial. It's like it's always people dancing with like their iPods and stuff like that. Like I would love for an Apple Vision Pro commercial just to be 30 seconds of a dude just sitting on his couch
Yeah,
doing
just-
nothing, just like yeah. Yeah.
What if you could
That's
play
true,
like
though.
your video games on it?
No, you definitely can.
Yeah, you
like
can.
like Call of Duty or like
Yeah.
Spider-Man or different.
I don't know if I'd want to
things.
do that though.
Oh,
You-
dude.
You had something years
Yeah,
ago
I
that
had
I tried out that Quest thing.
I had the PlayStation VR.
No, Jake
And
gave
did you
me.
like
Ja-
it?
I mean, yeah, I
No.
lost my life to it. I mean, I bought Resident Evil 7
No,
and
I
they,
got some real anxiety playing
Yeah.
Resident Evil and the Shark one. The Shark one
Oh,
with that
dude,
Quest.
yeah. I
That was
played
no joke.
Resident Evil 7, and then I played the entire game. I think it was like 14 hours straight. I should have
Dang.
been like streaming or something,
What
but
were you
streaming
doing?
wasn't cool. What was I doing?
Back then.
Living my best life and not worrying about anything else besides killing zombies. It was awesome. I mean, these days you can't do that anymore. You can't just like. Well, I mean, you totally
You
can. Yeah, I guess you totally can.
definitely
I
do
just
that.
have to
Actually,
start
these
recording.
days it's a
I
profession.
actually, yeah, these days
Yeah.
it's actually a profession. No,
Like,
that
it keeps
used to
going like this.
You know, the truth is though, like, okay, I don't have an addictive personality. I don't.
I'm glad.
But thank you.
We're proud of you.
But I loved and still love video games so much. Actually, my girlfriend and I were getting a little tussle about this, a little tussle, a little disagreement about this.
tussle.
Oh no,
Like-
that happens all the time.
Yeah,
Oh,
yes,
yeah, when I come home
yesterday.
and Brandon's like, "No, man, you just suck. Everything about you sucks." And I'm like, "Whoa, bro! Like, I
Everything
just,
about-
And that's just a phone call with me. He's not even playing video games yet, which is so crazy.
like, what are you doing?"
No, well, I was explaining to her, like, I understand how consumption of anything too much, it's bad for you, yada yada, whatever.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, video games for me, when I was growing up, I was a chunkier kid. I didn't have many friends. Like I was picked on a lot. Well, with me, cue the violin and stuff. But like I was decently.
That's what I did, but I did this, but I forgot the other hand, so it just looks like I was doing this. I literally, I did this, and I was like, nah.
But what I was getting at is basically like I would play video games because there was no other like when you're in
Like
school and
escape.
stuff like that.
It's like almost like an escape.
Man, for me it wasn't just an escape. It was like when everyone was rooting for you. You're the hero. Everything you're doing is good. You're like you have
Like
the
Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, yes, exactly
That's
like
a
Wreck-It
great way to
Ralph.
put that.
And yeah, it's like everything you were doing, people supported you, and you felt I don't know, you felt cool, and you felt like a hero, and you felt like people needed you and stuff. And it was for me it was cathartic because it wasn't just like, oh, I'm escaping into video games. It's like, oh, here I have friends, and I love this world, and I love like so. I that's why I've always understood the art and getting behind it. And I mean, like, oh my gosh, I don't really see it. I mean, I can see how it's a waste of time, I guess, depending on what you're playing and stuff. But that's what it always was for me.
I don't know about when. I think it's why you're playing.
Why. Yeah, okay, that's fair.
I mean,
that's
your
fair.
why you're playing something or doing something. It's kind of just like the same as any other addiction.
Yeah.
If it's to cover else something out.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
but if
there's a
it's
reason
if it's-
why I'm smoking crack. It's because I like it.
No, but You know.
Yeah.
No,
it's
but-
just a little cocaine. What's gonna happen?
No, but the why of if it's covering something up, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or distracting you from something else.
I don't know. I can tell you, crack's never distracted me from anything. I still get
God,
everything done.
Dang. This is why I don't feed my podcasters.
Did you say I still get everything done?
I still get
Energy
everything done.
drinks.
Honestly, quicker. I'm just gonna put that out there. But I don't
Looks
know,
like
man.
you're getting wings.
Yeah, I know. I feel so much better. I can't drink anymore. I really can't. Like I'm not good at it. I used to be
Is that
so
a talent?
I think so. I think
people-
You
maybe
know
some
what?
people
some
can
people
drink
can
I'll
drink,
take my
man.
comment back. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. I can't. I just can't drink like I used to. Like now, I wake up and it's brutal. It's so
Oh, yeah,
brutal,
yeah.
and there's nothing like the night after drinking poops. Like
I feel like this is a common thread for you. Like every single episode, it's like I really want to know what people do in the bathroom.
Well,
Are they on
I'm
their
just-
phone? Or are they not on their
Look,
phone?
I don't like that there's not enough transparency here.
This is
There's
true.
something about it. It
Everybody
just
poops.
wrecks your world the next day.
There's a
And
book about it.
Every time I'm like a drink down, I know I'm gonna have such a terrible morning the next
So
morning.
wait, do you go into the evening while you're drinking, thinking about that?
Prepped.
Like, oh, why am I here?
Prepped.
I'm doing
Have you ever
this.
had charcoal pills?
One more time?
You should have
Charcoal
that.
pills?
Charcoal pills.
Yeah. You should have that.
Every time before you even have a glass of wine,
Mm-hmm.
you just have a charcoal pill, and it removes all of the toxins and weird
See,
stuff that
that's-
make your tummy
How does it remove
problems.
it though? Like where does it get removed?
Imagine a vacuum.
But I mean,
Like-
it's not like how you're saying it.
Imagine a vacuum.
It sucks it.
Oh man. Yeah, I just can't. I can't do it anymore. You know, I'm 26. I turned 27 in June. I just like I
Young,
can't.
wild, and free.
Young, wild, and free, but I just can't. I can't drink like I used to. I don't know. You know, I also think that's why in Europe and stuff, kids don't care half as much about drinking like we do. You know what I mean? It's because like I
part of
remember
their
when
culture.
I was over there, like yeah,
Yeah.
little kids are like drinking wine and stuff. It makes so much more sense to me because then you wouldn't be as intrigued to go do all that.
Well, they also have different stuff in their alcohol. It's a lot cleaner.
Yeah, that's fair. I didn't gain a single pound when I was in Italy, and I was
No.
eating everything
Oh,
under
no,
the sun.
Italy and bro, it's very hard to find like let's say like eggs for breakfast. Anything for breakfast outside of pasta.
Yeah.
We were in Italy for
With carbonara? I'm not Italian. I butchered that.
Just keep going. For
yeah,
it,
Yeah.
you know?
but we were in Italy for like 7-8 days and we tried multiple locations. It was only pasta for breakfast and it'd be like 9 a.m. and
Yeah.
I'd asked everywhere for eggs. Everyone looked at me like I was lost.
Oh, dude, and they are so specific about like their meals come how their meals are prepped. Like I remember
but-
one time.
Wait, have you guys seen that TikTok of that guy who's like how I like made every Italian mad at me at every place because he did
Yes, you
everything
showed.
opposite.
Oh yeah, you showed
So,
me.
like,
It's going against Italian culture.
He like it was.
Isn't that kinda rude?
It's rude
Yeah.
and
Okay,
sad.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like it
You're
was.
like, it's rude and sad. Hilarious.
no, but
Yeah.
what's funny about it is those are things subconsciously that we do because they're part of our culture.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's
Oh,
what
So
she
you're
means.
like-
For example, like when
Okay,
we were
okay.
when we were in Italy, I asked a gentleman when I asked for iced coffee, and he brought me coffee without ice, and I was like, "Oh, can I have ice with the coffee?" And he looked at me, and he got pretty upset. I didn't know in Italy they don't do iced coffee.
No.
I didn't know that.
Or
Yeah.
even the way that you
So-
hold your pizza. Like I remember me and Charisma, we're so used to taking like our food to go, right? When we asked to go, the whole restaurant went silent. Like the whole restaurant. And you're
They're
sitting
like,
there
"Yo,
like,
who are these?"
Even the
how
baby looked
dare
at you.
Like it's one of those movie scenes, and you're sitting
That'd
there
have been
like,
hilarious.
oh my gosh, I didn't even mean to offend you, but like it's
They're
happening.
thinking like, "Yeah, you did. You're leaving right now as you say this."
yeah, and so it's the video that's funny on those things that we would take for
man.
granted, like we would
Yeah.
just do, and then everyone in the restaurant is staring at you like,
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I remember like two vivid memories were from what I remember of that trip because that was kind of blurry. But
did you drink too much?
I mean, well, also it's just it's part of like they are such a fun-loving culture, but they go out, they start late. It's very much like Spain with their like siestas and stuff. Like
Yeah.
everything's later.
Yeah.
But I remember we were in Venice and we were at this one spot. Till this day, still the best lasagna I've ever had. Ever.
Oh, I believe you.
And my
Except for yours,
buddy,
baby.
my buddy's like, "Can I get pasta with chicken?" And the guy's like,
Pasta with chicken.
He's like, we don't. What do you want? He's like, well, I just want chicken in my pasta. And he's like, what, you want chicken on the side? What do you? He's like, I want chicken in my pasta. He's like, wait, what do you mean? We're not gonna put chicken in your pasta. And he's just like, you either buy the pasta or you buy the chicken. He's like, okay, I'll buy both. He buys both. The guy brings them to the table. He chops it up and puts it in the pasta. Go, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing to the pasta? Like, he's like, I wanted chicken in my pasta. He's like, no, don't do this.
It's like it's not even their responsibility.
Dude, he was pissed.
But because it's their art form. That's the thing is it's generational. So it's a tradition in their family. So it's actually representing their name.
I know.
Their family name, their sauces, the way that they make because most of the noodles are fresh made.
Right.
You know, like this lady was like, I make all these ones from scratch. Like she even made she made gluten-free noodles from scratch in her own kitchen for me in that moment. And
she didn't give you the eye for gluten-free noodles?
No, luckily they now have a lot more options.
Okay, because when we went, there were some curveballs. If you're like, so like gluten-free, they're like, get out.
I was gonna think it's like a hit or miss where you go because, for example, I loved Spain and she loved it too because everything was naturally gluten-free. And if you wanted, for example, there's a couple restaurants where it's like, you know, when they bring you bread to the table, they brought gluten-free bread to the table. If you wanted gluten bread, you pay for that one.
¿Y hablas español en España o no?
Sí, poquito.
Ajá, ¿y tú?
I know, like, yo tengo hambre. You know, like, gracias.
That's the best thing to know.
You know?
Tengo hambre.
Feed me now. I'm hungry. Yeah. No, but what Spain does well is they don't charge you extra for gluten-free things.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is very kind. They don't make you feel like you're some
I feel like gluten-free in Spain
gluten-free.
is very prioritized versus like being like an add-on.
Yeah, America's just out here charging for everything.
Oh no, they charge a fortune here.
I remember when I got to LA and I was like, I have to pay $0.25 to go pee. That was the craziest thing ever.
It's okay. That's all in
that's
in
New
Europe
York
too. Though.
Yeah, New York and Europe too.
I think there's $1.
You know, my favorite, one of my favorite things about Italy though, is they had certain cities like Florence had these in the canals. There were divots you could go pee in. Like,
wait,
say
what?
that one more time. I blanked out for like 2 seconds. Hold on, what?
In the street, like the sewer drains or whatever, the storm drains. Had built-in some spots, had built-in places you could go pee in. So if people got drunk, rather than peeing on the streets, you could literally pee in that. And I thought that was one of the smartest inventions.
I guess when you look at it that way, it's actually brilliant.
Yeah, it's genius, man. It's so smart because you can just pee right in there instead of on the street. That's so smart.
Did you go do it?
Yeah. Yes, I did. 100%.
I just wanted to ask.
Well, I'll try everything once. You know what I mean? If it's out there, I'm going to do it. It's not like I was a bad person. It literally was saying pee here. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, sue me, you know? I definitely.
No one's coming at you for it. I just
Okay.
wanted to know if you did try it or not.
No,
you know?
I did. You know something else I also found out? We call them Irish car bombs. The Irish do not call them Irish car bombs. It's actually very, very bad to call them Irish car bombs in Ireland. Did you know that?
I did
like,
not
you know
know.
when you have
I'm
a Guinness and you drop the shot, and
Yeah.
in America we call them Irish car bombs. Yeah. So
Thank you.
we met.
Why?
I honestly, I'm not smart enough to know why, but we were like, can we get a few Irish car bombs? We were at this, basically, long story short, we were walking home at like 3 a.m. from this club in Italy, and we run into this Irish, no phones, please. Please put your phone down. No phones, please.
Explain. Don't worry.
Busybody.
Don't
Eyes
worry.
on me, baby. Eyes on me. I got you. Stay with me with them sweet lips. All right, listen. So we
Everyone
were
just goes on their
yeah
phone.
we were walking down.
Pause. Something just disrupted the whole
Hey,
conversation.
you keep those little candy
Out of
teeth on me, all right,
balance.
baby? So, anyways, we're walking down the street,
Yes.
and we run into this group, and this guy goes, "Oi!" He's like, "If you finish this bottle of Jack with me, then we'll go wherever you want to go." And I was like, oh, okay, all right, let's do it. So we start drinking, met these dudes at all. And then we slam it. And by the end of it, we're at this spot like halfway across town at this Guinness bar that they know the owner at. And so we're in this Guinness bar, and we're just like 3 Irish car bombs.
You said this?
Yeah, well, that's what they're called out here. And you just hear silence.
Yeah.
And they all stare at us. And then we go to sit down, and that's when they give us the whole rundown. They're like, oh, actually, you know, we don't say that Because there was a whole thing where like the Irish Mafia and stuff like that. There were like car bombings and stuff in Ireland.
Right.
They're like, that's basically like us going to America and order a drink and being like 3 9/11s. And I was like, oh my god, I had no idea.
Awful, though.
I had
I
no
don't mean to
idea.
laugh, but that's actually a very
Dude,
true
it was
statement.
the craziest thing in the world, man. I literally was so shocked that was an actual thing, and I felt bad, but
But also, you learn something. I think that's good.
yeah, I learned that.
It goes to show you how much America technically just creates like out of the blue.
Dude, I know, but I don't know, man.
That becomes culturally acceptable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like, I think the difference here too is we're much more of a boiling pot than anywhere else. So I mean, stuff is going to get mixed up, and that's where like the ignorance comes from, and being naive and stuff. And then, I mean, it's so hard because none of us. I think one thing that's really funny, especially the younger generation, when we go travel, we know about the stigma behind American tourist. So we try so hard not to be it.
That's a fact.
Even though we always kind of
We
end
stand
up
out
being
as
it
it.
no matter what. It's so funny. It's like the harder you try, the worse you are. I mean,
I think people just whenever I travel, they like that. They actually love that I'm coming from America or Canada. Like,
Yeah.
in the most part, if I'm respectful about
like
it.
depending on where you go, I feel like.
Yeah. Well, even in places that they don't necessarily like the way that people usually treat. If you're open about like, I actually don't know this, teach me something. I want to learn, not in like I want to learn because I want to do all this, but like literally like I'm here, might as well learn. Then it's respectful. If you're respectful of it, it's like a language.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I remember so another thing, this was my second thing when we were in Italy.
Okay.
Smoking out there. Huge. Still huge. It's still huge smoking out there in Italy.
Yeah.
And I remember when we sat down at a table, one of the first times we were there, we sat down, they bring an ashtray and we're like, oh, we don't need it. And the guy's just like, what do you mean? You don't need an ashtray? What do you mean? And they're like, oh no, we're not smoking. And they're just like, what do you mean? The guy was he's like, you're not smoking. The baby sitting over there going,
Yeah.
what do you mean? But yeah, man, I freaking miss it. Would you guys ever move out of America to go live, not Canada, excluding Canada?
I was about to say I already did.
Yeah, but I mean, like, do you think you could live abroad? Do you think you could do it?
Do I think I could do it?
Yeah.
Well,
It's more if I want to.
Okay.
I was gonna say that's
Like, where would you go?
I was gonna say that's a better question because could do it, sure. Do I want to do it though? That's another question.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think I would want to do it. What I would want is probably like, have like a house in probably one of my favorite countries that I travel to, and just basically be like, okay, we're going to go have a little vacation at this house, whatever.
Like North Korea. That's one of his favorite spots. He talks about it all the time. Yeah.
I'm gonna walk away. This is me. This is me today after the energy drink.
Hey,
Bye.
half of these jokes has just been more laughter, just
Yeah.
seeing the reaction
Yeah.
right there.
You're always gonna get a reaction from me. My facial expressions are so prominent. Like I don't even mean to.
I'm sorry.
I
I'm
love
sorry.
it.
I'm
I
sorry.
love
I
it.
just
Not to
remember when we were
apologize.
kids, you just really loved talking about North Korea. No, I'm kidding.
When we were kids.
I'm kidding.
Okay. Back on track. Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah. Sorry.
Come on.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I technically did move countries, and from Canada
Yeah, that's
to
fair.
America.
That's true. That's
and
true.
it is a different country, and there's very different things that you like have to go through in order to become part of a country. And I think that it's a lot more than just like, oh, I want to go here. Like you have to do your research and what it means to be a part of that that culture.
Would you ever see yourself living in Canada again though?
I mean, I this is my home, so you
Yeah,
know,
so
you
yeah, so
learn,
no.
you
Yeah.
learn what. I mean, it doesn't mean that I would never, but I ultimately, this is where I feel at home. This is my home. This is
Yeah.
what I've put my life into being a part of. And I think if you are going to move to any other country in the world, you want to know the land. Like you want
Right.
to you don't want to just be like, oh, I'm up and running. Let's go. Like, no,
Yeah.
like you actually do your research and what it means to like be respectful of the procedure to be a part of a country, like that's important. So if I was to, I mean, as a Canadian, you're blessed with the ability to go to all the countries that it's partnered
The
with.
Commonwealth.
And
yeah.
so that's cool. But and I didn't really do that because I think till you're like 30 or something, you're able to like go to those countries for a majority, like a good amount of time in work and stuff. But it's mostly about making sure you can work in those countries. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, what do you want to do? Right. What is it? What is it like? What is the pace? I think a pace of a place is very important.
Yeah.
You know.
I have a Canada related question.
Oh, I'm nervous.
Is Tim Hortons as legit as they say?
Oh.
Yes, I will
Hey.
say Brandon is obsessed. Yeah.
Bro, let me.
Their ice caps.
Let me.
What the hell is an ice cap?
Okay,
Oh
it's kind
my
of like
God.
a frap but different.
Look at her. I hear, oh, wow.
Okay, let me tell you, if it's -40 and we go to Canada, Brandon's getting an ice cap.
Bro. Okay, first of all, yeah. First of all, that's
the most he's perked up this entire episode.
He's like, oh my God,
Tim Hortons, bro.
Well,
All right,
I think
hit
that's
me.
just wherever I am. To backtrack real quick on what you're saying, I just don't like hot drinks. I don't care where I am. Like we can be snowboarding in a mountain with a little blizzard, and I still got an iced coffee.
What's your vibe on soup?
I'm not really about it. I'm not really about
You
it.
walk out and come back. And how do you like hot steak?
Yeah. Not really crazy about hot drinks. So soup is where does that
Soup-
fall?
soup's not hitting.
Okay.
But Timmy's, their
Yeah, that's
ice
what
caps.
it's called, Timmy's.
Yeah, that's what everyone calls it. Yeah, Timmy's.
Okay.
It's Tim
And-
Hortons, but it's Timmy's.
Okay, Timmy's.
I'm going to
There's,
Timmy's.
so it's basically imagine a slushy with espresso.
Oh snap. Okay.
Yeah. So
But not an American slushie.
Because
Because those evaporate in your mouth
Now
like
I'm
nobody's
confused.
business.
just Timmy's.
So
yeah,
imagine
so-
slushy.
No, a frap.
Not American.
Do you know what a nice frap is?
Yes.
Okay, a frappuccino?
Yeah.
Okay, it's like that, but it's a little bit thinner.
So think of a Canadian slushy version of an espresso frap. What she's explaining.
You're going to be confused. It's okay. Come to Canada with us.
Dang,
Okay, look,
that
I will-
sounds
but you know what
like
I-
I might like it.
You actually will like it.
No,
that
you-
sounds good.
Yeah.
You'll feel like you want to run for miles, bro.
I
I have a
feel like I wanna run
ton.
for miles right
I
now.
always get Timmy's. Actually, one of the most exciting things I did when we went to Madrid is I saw they had a Timmy's in Spain.
They did.
And it
It
was-
was
Okay,
awesome.
how? Is it
And
a
it was-
Canadian
it was-
thing? But
It is, but it was I'm pretty sure it was Burger King who bought Timmy's.
oh, okay.
I don't know what year it was, but it definitely changed. It when it first started, they would bake all their fresh baked goods in store, like and
That's
all
very
their
good.
stuff. It was different. It was more like family, and then they put it
all-
Their
it
around
always
the country.
happens.
Their food now it's all right. It's all right. But their slushy things, the ice caps, those hit. But I realized too, like, cause they do like a small. I just discovered this recently. Actually, they do a small, medium, large, and I thought like how you do every cafe, like you do like a medium or a large, you're getting like one more espresso shot technically. But I realized that no, it's the same double shot. They're just adding milk and a bunch of other stuff to it. So I was like,
Also,
Might as well stay
cheesies
with
are
the
amazing.
small.
That's fun. I'm glad you came to that.
what?
Oh,
Oh,
I
the-
just love Canadian food in general. Like Canadian
Okay.
snacks, ketchup chips, cheese.
I'm sorry. Ketchup chips. What are those?
Wait, you've never heard of ketchup chips?
Think of Lay's, but ketchup.
Interesting.
They're delicious. And
Ketchup chips.
And cheesies are different than Cheetos.
See, we need to import some of these or get these in next episode.
We
have like
should.
a taste
There's
situation.
a box. There's a box that you can get and it'll send.
No way.
Yeah, it's called the Canadian box
yeah.
or something.
You know, it would be kind of cool is like whenever we travel, get a bunch of stuff from
Yeah.
those countries, and we just come here and chat about it. and try it out.
Wow. That's pretty. Yeah.
Crawford, who we had, my little
Yeah.
brother, he did when we were in Italy, he did like the Italian snacks that were like the top snacks in Italy.
Right.
And he did like a stream on that. And it was so funny. Not funny in a like, it was just wild to taste these different flavors that like you wouldn't necessarily
Oh,
taste
dude.
otherwise.
That's like when I was in Japan. They got some crazy stuff in
Oh, I believe,
Japan.
yeah, even
dude.
in Korea. I
Oh
love
I've
it.
never
my
been
God.
to Japan. She's been dying to go over there. That's a
dude.
place I have
wanna
not
go.
touched yet.
Japan is literally the coolest place ever. And okay, let me just list all the ways Japan is better than here.
ready.
Their metro system is absolutely
I
phenomenal.
feel like almost everywhere though. Yeah,
Huh?
the metro system. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, where were we? Where it was insane. Oh no, London.
Yeah.
London
Yeah,
is-
I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, in general, I've heard. But
England.
what they do, and I guess when I say here, I mean Los Angeles specifically, because
yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
it's very comparable. Their metro system's amazing, so clean. The people are so kind, and also there's just like a silence there.
Wait,
Like, there's
just to interrupt you for 2 seconds.
Uh-huh.
Do you know why we don't have a good metro system here? It's because the cars they voted against it. Like I think the car dealerships are different people that for cars. Like
Oh.
I don't know the exact. We should look it up. But there's a reason why we actually don't have a good metro system.
Because the cars people were like, no
Yeah, I think it had something
for
to
the subway.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah. So we'll look into it to make
Unreal.
sure. But
Yeah. Unreal.
I heard someone talk about it the other day because I was wondering the same thing. Now
Yeah.
continue into how it's better.
But like the craziest thing is when we were in Tokyo, we went to what was equivalent of their Central Park, basically. And we were there and there were just thousands of people there.
Oh.
But the thing is, like, you could hear the birds chirping. No one blasts their music loud. No one's like smoking and it's getting everywhere. It's like everyone's quiet and very to themselves, but at the same time they're smiling and polite, and it just felt like a very I don't know. When I was there, it felt like a very accepting culture.
Yeah.
Like they were just so
Yeah.
everyone was so sweet and like
That's what I loved. Have you ever been to London?
I've never been to London. no.
So London has, I believe it's 7, but they have 6 or 7 really big parks throughout London.
wow,
And when
yeah.
I mean parks, I mean like almost like city size, like nature,
Like nature reserves
Like you'll
almost.
walk in there and you lose sight of the city.
Wow.
You can't even hear the city.
Yeah.
And they got like little cafes. You could kind of sit with your laptop or order a little drink and sit in a
Yeah.
park and walk, and you see a bunch of nature, like life,
Yeah.
life, plants. But you literally lose sight of the city, and you're in the center of it. And they got like 7 throughout London, and that made me realize on our last trip, like how big London actually is. The fact, because London's one of the biggest cities, and on top of that, it has 7 parks that size.
Yeah, man, that's the thing about traveling. You always hear these people say, "Oh, once you travel, it changes you," and you're always kind of like, "Nah, okay, like, all right, I guess." You know what I mean? Like, that was just such a hard thing for me to grasp. But
it
like,
changes
it
you.
does. No,
I love
it's seriously,
that.
it really does.
Your perspective on life. Yeah.
Everything changes, and I think what really trips me out is when you officially go somewhere that's awake when the rest of the world's asleep, and vice versa. That's when you're really just like, my God, you know, this place is so big, and you can't conceptualize it. Like
There's
that's
purpose on it too when people fall asleep and wake up. Like in
Yeah.
Italy, like the reason why they do that and they wait in the middle of the day, everyone closes down shop and stuff in
That was
different countries. That's actually important for rest, so that their bodies are like in healthy state all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's why I feel like you rarely ever see an oversized person in Italy. Oh my God, it's like
Well,
everyone's like young and thin and hot. And then, like, dude, and Italy just has some of the hottest people I've ever seen in my entire life.
Very beautiful.
Everyone's hot. Everyone's hot. Like, you're like, you know, what would the equivalent of my creepy uncle in America would be like America's next top model in Italy. It's crazy. Like, the guy serving you is hot. You know what I mean? The chick serving you is hot. The person walking down the street, hot. Mailman, hot. Everyone's hot. I don't know what's going on with the gene pool out there, but it's amazing. And then it's like they hit like 70 or 80 and then just become the cutest Pixar type old people. It's like, it's amazing.
like-
It's just like such a perfect, like, and if there's ever an excuse that smoking doesn't mess you up, it's out there. This is where everyone smokes. They all
Oh,
look amazing. I don't know how they do it.
No, all the time.
Dude,
All the time.
like I told you, when
There's-
I'm like a little baby, it's like, I'm serious, man. Like, and even
It's
the
either-
babies
it's
are
either-
cooler
it's-
than you out there. I don't know how
It's
they
either
do
that or
it.
they're
Like,
taking their babies
dude,
around.
those babies judge you so hard.
my
Those little
goodness.
Italian babies have the judgiest looks, man, because they just
You
like,
felt judged by a baby out there recently?
oh, dude, I almost punched a baby out there. He was giving me the craziest eyes. He's just like so. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Sure.
I drop kicked him.
It's
No,
different.
it's crazy though, man. I mean, they're just so beautiful people. It's like, oh my God, I'm so
No,
jealous.
life is very different, but I feel like, yeah, people just naturally take care of themselves a little bit better, feel better, whatever they're putting in their bodies is better.
The dating
Quality
culture.
of life is better. Yeah, that's probably
there.
better. There's just, I think so many things out there are.
Well, actually, I was gonna say I don't even know. I don't even know if better. It's just the dating culture I actually found very, very interesting to touch on this.
I
real
don't
quick.
know the dating culture, so
Yeah, so when I was out there, you know, I was talking, and I don't think it's fair to be like, oh, I talked to this group of people and this represents all of Italy or whatever. But when I was out there, it was actually super interesting. I met like some of these young college students that were there that were studying at. They're from Italy, but they were studying at one of the schools. I think they were studying a school in Venice or something like that. God, I can't remember. It was late night. But they were basically just saying like, oh yeah, well I have, you know, my girlfriend, and then I have my other person, or they'll be like, or we keep it open. And it was kind of very much what I thought was very interesting is they're like, when we pick our boyfriend or girlfriend, our person, that's our person. They're like, we
Right.
don't really start dating because once we do, we know that's it. Like that is our person, which I thought was super interesting. They don't really like, it's not like sleeping around like happens in the States a lot, or, you know, people go through multiple relationships and stuff like that. At least the people I were talking to were telling me that, you know, we kind of always keep it open because once I pick that person, like that is my husband, that is my wife, like that is my human being, period. And I just thought that was super interesting. Like they don't really, you know, from the people I was talking to, don't really do that. Like it's very, very open and there's also like there was a certain maturity out there that just blew my mind for like the age of people I was meeting and stuff. I don't know. It was sick, dude.
Must have been a very intriguing conversation.
Yeah, it was. It actually, yeah, it was, man. It was, and like,
Sorry, babe, I'm not into that.
yeah,
I think I'd get confused.
Yeah,
like I
yeah.
would personally, for me, I would just be like, I don't know who I like anymore.
Well, hey, you also
Like,
you also had this guy
Chris is
championing
like, I'm
for
gonna
you.
weigh this out.
To
Yeah.
be fair, to bounce off that, you had this guy championing for you for like, I mean, you are the best till this day. You are the best, like quote unquote friend zone to boyfriend to husband I have ever seen in my entire life. And your guys' story is like, I mean, because that's how it started,
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah, right,
I don't
right.
think we ever got into this. Like, I don't know
I
if
forgot
you've
to
been.
even say my name at the first
Yeah, I was
episode.
gonna say I don't even know at the like beginning of the
if you
podcast
guys-
we ever
if
we
don't know
ever.
this, we
Dude.
are actually married.
Yeah.
we-
Not me and him. It
Even
almost
though they've
worked
been
out.
making some, remarks.
It almost worked out. Every time he gives me those candy cane lips, I get a little excited. But no, it's
Jake's
not
speaking it all for me, babe.
not us. Yeah, but yeah, go into that because I don't think it's one of the most amazing stories ever. I mean, how long
Well,
did it start?
So there's like so many aspects to this story. You know, there's the I mean, I would love to go into there's the aspect of like, you know, me directly chasing after Kirsten, and then there's behind the scenes of like what all you guys are telling me, and
Yeah.
then what my family's telling, what everyone's telling me, and then how I'm sitting there pondering like, what do I do? Like, do I actually pursue this? Do I want this? What do I do? But very funny. I mean, it all started with like, years before we met.
started with
I
life.
think
I
I'm
was
getting
like-
butterflies talking about our story. We have a lot of dynamics to our story.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I'll say a certain part of it for now, but I mean, it was probably I'm 29 now, and I think I
Damn.
first saw Kirsten.
Young, wild, and
saw
free.
Kirsten around like I think like 17, 18 is when I first saw her,
Yeah.
and I don't know if you were there, but some of the boys, we
Yeah.
all went to go see someone perform in like Hollywood. And yeah, this girl came up and was like also performing that night, not our friend that we went to go see. And I was like, who's this girl? And it was obviously Kirsten.
He's like, Mama, I
But-
want that one.
That's the one. Mine. Mine.
Honestly, though,
Yeah.
we have some stories of why I
Mine.
was his. I don't think I even had a chance when he was pursuing me because we have
yeah.
other stories. But
Yeah.
continue. This is very cute.
Well,
I like
no,
this.
once the race began, you were not leaving. You were
Yeah,
not walking
I didn't have an
out.
option.
You're not
okay?
walking out.
I
But-
thought I had a choice.
But it was funny though. So yeah, I saw Kirsten. Yeah, I saw Kirsten perform that night.
You weren't going
And-
anywhere.
You're stuck.
I thought I had a
But-
choice.
It's like, hold on a second.
Sorry.
No. But yeah. So I remember I didn't want to introduce myself at all because I noticed that she had a boyfriend at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, you know, everyone I was with that night was telling me to just basically go introduce myself to her.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what, I can't because, you know, my intentions aren't right. I was
Ah,
like,
yeah.
It's like, I'm not meeting her just to be like, oh, let's be friends. No, I'm introducing myself because I like her. And I was like, that'd be disrespectful to her. I was so sure that she had a boyfriend. So I was like, I'm not going to do that to them. I wouldn't want that done to me.
Like the first thing you
So-
say is just how long you think this is gonna happen?
I'd be
What's
like,
up?
yo,
I'm Brandon. How long do you
what's your
think,
name?
like,
What's
yeah,
your name? It's
yeah.
like, you look like a pinhead.
Yeah.
I'll step aside.
Yeah,
Let
I'm
me
just-
come on it.
You're just like I just want to know real quick, like how long are we talking here? How long are we talking this is
That's
gonna last?
funny.
Okay.
That's funny. But yeah, so that night did end up happening. Everyone told me to meet her, and I was like, look, if it's meant to be, I'll see her again at some point in my life. Then obviously it's like a year down the line, completely forgot about that moment.
yeah.
Completely forgot about that moment.
This is so cute, you guys.
And funny enough, so obviously, for the ones who are watching, Crawford, our first guest,
Hi,
is
Mom.
her brother, her brother, and I knew Crawford probably like 5 years before I met Kirsten.
Oh, that's right.
And I never knew that they were siblings. Never.
Right.
It just, the conversation never came up that like, oh yeah, I got sister, I got siblings, or oh, we never hung out, none of that. So then that following year, Crawford calls me one time and he's like, hey, so, you know, my brother Chris, he's sick. He has a ticket to this festival. He said to give you his ticket. Do you want to go? And I think I'm like 18 or 19 at this point. I'm one or the other. And I was like, yeah, I'm down to go. Let's go. And he's like, I have to pick you up right now. And I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go. Let's go. And he's like, by the way, hope you're okay with it. Cool, too. But my sisters are coming with me. I was like, yeah, no problem. Let's go. So I already knew their parents as well. So I hop in the car.
Well, I didn't even know about this.
I hop in the car, and little do I know is I open the door, and I see the same girl I saw a year ago in the car next to
look,
Crawford.
where's the guy?
And I was just like, bro, my heart started like flying, and then I was like, holy shit! I was like, this girl's like, I was like, holy shit!
Oh, this is so cute.
I was like, this is the girl I saw a year ago, and I was like, there's no way. I remember the exact moment I said, if it's meant to be, I'll see her again. I'll see her
He has a
again.
little twinkle in his eye.
But then it was funny though. The funny part though, I was like,
I
holy
thought
crap.
he was a mute.
This is my best.
Seriously.
I was like, this is my best friend's sister at the time. I was like, oh my god. So I was like, you know what? There's no talking to her. I can't.
So
I
he's
remember that.
He's my little brother's like
Best friend.
one of best friends.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, how are you doing? Like, I like to get to know my brother's friends.
Yeah,
respect
yeah.
my brothers.
I didn't even answer the
This
question.
man,
I
this
didn't
man
even answer.
walked away from me, and like,
How you
I'm
doing?
sitting
Shut
there,
up.
Like,
I was like, nope, don't look.
honestly, the whole time
I don't like you.
Don't look.
me and Charisma are like laughing. We're like,
No,
okay,
they're
cool.
no, they're like very like bluntly making fun of me and saying like, why am I not talking? And I'm going to Crawford. I'm like, hey, bro, you like want to go over here?
This is also
like,
when Brandon
like,
didn't have a
let's-
neck, and he was like this.
Yeah, Kirsten.
You look like one of those thumb guys from Spy Kids.
Okay.
Yeah,
You did not, babe, but yeah.
Kirsten and her mom were notorious for telling me to like, Brandon, you got too much muscle, lose weight. You
Oh,
gotta, you
nice.
gotta lose it. You gotta lose
Not
it.
too much muscle, just when you needed a neck, bro.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
And he's
I'll-
always swiped his hair. Do you remember when he swiped his hair like
Hey,
he
look,
was in
you
the
changed
50s?
for the people you love, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm ready
I
for
mean-
this next part. Okay, go. For
Yeah.
it. Sorry.
So lo and behold, I was mute. So I didn't talk to her. I was like, nope,
Uh-huh.
bro code, can't do that. And I was like, I'm not even gonna ask Crawford, just not gonna do it.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, cool. So the night ended. You know, obviously as time went on, I kept hanging out with Crawford, but I just didn't see her for God knows how long. Then another year went by.
Wow.
And then I remember Crawford had just got back from Canada. He calls me. He goes, yo, just got back in town. You want to come through? Let's play some FIFA. Let's grab some food. Let's do something. I didn't have a car at the time, so I was like, yeah, can you come grab me?
Oh, I remember this. Yeah.
Okay, he's like, can you come
yeah.
grab me? So he came to pick me up. He was like, you want to get food? I was like, yeah, just hey, let's go to your house. He's like, all right, you mind if my sister's there? And then in my mind, I'm like, I mean, yeah, let's go to the house. I mean, I didn't know what else to like. I didn't know what else to think. I was like, I just can't. But I was like, I already like kind of sensed the little bit of anxiety because at this time in my life, you have to think I was the only one that knew this. I never communicated it with Kirsten, never communicated it with Crawford. I just knew this.
That like
So
she
I-
was
so it
the
was-
one in your head.
So it was awkward because I was always with Crawford, and I was just like, how do I do this? Like, what? How do I work this dynamic?
Yeah, yeah.
But we get to the house,
Bro,
and-
you ever think like your sister, you know, is hot? I mean, I don't think you would think that. I'm just wondering if you ever.
Jay, could you imagine? Oh my goodness.
I just like, yeah. You ever pondered it? I haven't thought about it once. I don't even know what you're
I
talking.
just
Shut
want
up,
to see
dude.
your thoughts.
I'm just like on a scale from 1 to like, can I date your sister? What do you
Yeah.
think? What are you what are you thinking here?
Do you think I even got a chance over
Yeah,
here?
yeah.
But I tried to avoid her again that
Nice.
night.
That's a good tactic.
I tried to avoid her again, and then she's the one. She came and sat next to me
Oh.
and started talking to me, and it was really funny because that was. I mean, Crawford may deny this, but it was one of the first times Crawford ever beat me in FIFA.
Whoa.
It's very,
Whoa,
it's very,
shots
it's very
fired.
notorious. Very notorious. Crawford, sorry, dog, I love you, but very notorious for always going against each other one on one. But Kirsten, yeah, she got my attention, and we were having that conversation. That was the first time we actually spoke.
Wow.
And then shortly after that, I was told that she broke up with her boyfriend.
And then I couldn't get rid of this man. And I was the
I couldn't get rid of this man.
But in the best,
that's so
no,
sweet.
No, in the most beautiful way though, because
Yeah.
like for me, like I had just gone through something really horrible
Yeah,
in my
yeah.
past relationship, and so I was broken,
Right.
and I didn't want him or anyone I cared about that was actually someone like
Sure.
beautiful
Yeah.
to be like just a rebound of something.
Of course.
Yeah.
And
So she just
yeah.
basically did me like dirty in certain ways. Like there's this one memory. There's this one memory.
Bro, no.
Oh man,
Excuse me?
this has gotten juicy.
We're
There you
gonna
go,
leave
there
the
you
rest
go.
of the story. This
No,
man
no, no,
thing.
I
The
wanna
next
say- I
episode,
wanna
he's got a
say-
black eye. You're like,
I
oh,
think-
where'd that
I
come
want to
from?
say one Beverly. It was really funny actually. I want to say
okay.
one. We were chilling.
I
in
have
her,
a few from you.
This is this is great. Oh, look at the time. We're almost done.
No,
man.
this
Tune
was
in
funny
next
though.
week.
This was funny though. This
Okay.
apartment, we were in this apartment, and everyone in her family laughed because I was laughing. So it was kind of funny. But when you think back at it now, it's like, damn. But now when you think out, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
But we were hanging out in her apartment, all of us, and I forgot who it was. It
I
was
live with my
It was
family.
either her sister or one of her brothers.
Uh-huh.
Came to check on. We were in Kirsten's room, and it was actually at Oakwood.
Oh.
At Oakwood.
Good old classic Oakwood, the stopping ground of every Disney actor.
Every
Yeah,
person.
okay.
Yeah. And someone came in and said, "Hey, what are you guys doing? Like, do you guys want to go do something?" And I kid you not, Kirsten goes, "Oh, come in here. This is the Friendzone room. This is the Friendzone room." And I was like,
Oh
yo,
my God.
damn.
Okay,
Hey,
A
that
moment of
shot,
silence.
Hey, that shot could not have been worse. That's a shock into the chest.
Oh, dude, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember when you came over crying that day. That's
Whoa,
uh,
whoa.
No, but
That's-
what I will say,
Hey, whoa.
hey.
it did show. This was really important for. Now we're married, right? But,
I remember when
yeah,
you came
Oh,
back
thank
crying.
God you're married,
We're
because that's
married
brutal. I mean,
But I didn't want to give. I'm not a person that likes to give like false hope of things. Like I like to value where I'm
No,
at.
you're straight to the point.
Straight
yeah.
point.
yeah.
very
So
straight.
so as soon as I did,
There's no straighter point. than
no
that.
straighter point. But yeah, he ultimately he pursued me for a year and a half.
Oh,
and
wow.
Yeah.
in these moments though of the pursuit, Jake, I don't know if you know this, but I'd go dancing or something, right? I'm free, a single woman, and a guy would be talking to me. The bouncer would call Brandon and be like,
got eyes everywhere, bro.
that girl you're talking to, like, this guy's hitting on her. You want me to kick him out?
This was supposed to be like a sweet friend zone story, and now I'm just hearing stuff about you being like, yeah, she didn't have a choice after that. And then you're like, I got eyes everywhere, bro. And I'm just like, all right, guys, maybe this isn't the total way to go about it if you're in the friend zone. He's like, yeah, I had a private investigator and everything.
No, seriously, but
It's actually
yeah.
pretty
And
funny.
now we're married.
and now we're married.
And now it's a beautiful story.
Friend zone to end
Oh.
zone. Just kidding.
Wow. Friend zone to end zone.
Because
Hey,
also we
score.
waited to have sex
Oh.
till marriage, so you
Friend
know.
zone to friend zone
All
to
right.
end zone.
There we
Oh my God. Wow, this
has
I
been a
feel
podcast.
I feel fired up. That was the most amazing ending ever. Oh my God.
So tell us
okay.
your relationship
Jake was
stories.
like, now I got wings. I'm flying
Whoa,
mentally
dude.
right now.
That just made me so happy. My
Oh.
heart is jumping. That came out of you. Oh my God. This
That
has
did,
been so
that
great.
did, that did. Wow.
Well, I can retire at this point. That was awesome.
These are rare occasions,
Friend
okay?
zone to end zone, baby.
I like that line actually.
I think I said
That's
it.
a shirt.
I said it in
Yeah.
our vows. I think when we were,
Oh,
when we were
dude.
getting
Yeah,
married.
that's a great line.
Oh, dude, that's.
I know. I should wear that shirt.
You
You
should.
should.
We should make
sport
you that shirt.
Make friend zone to end zone shirt.
Yeah.
Okay, tune in if you want friend zone to end zone shirts.
That was a
Call
great- that was
1-800-busybodies.com. Friend zone to end zone, and then it should just be B with like binoculars. Bro, not the I got eyes everywhere, bro. That's, man. So that's just what you're doing. You're not attacking on all sides. Anyone in the friend zone, just make sure you're everywhere they are and you're good to go.
No, it's
Yeah.
you know,
Oh,
There's more.
determination.
There's more context to that. We should have probably explained it, but you know,
Right now we're
we'll leave it
leaving
at that.
We're
We'll leave it at
leaving
that.
Oh,
But
man.
guys, I want to thank you guys for tuning in on another episode.
Oh, thank you so
if
much.
you got anything to let us know on, please give us a comment.
Tell us
give
your
a shout
friend
out,
zone
give us-
stories and how they're going. We would love love to get the follow up.
Honestly, I'm sure there's a lot of stories
And
like
let
that.
us know if you made it to the end zone.
And I hope y'all did.
Or if you're still on the field.
Okay, we're done. We're done. We love you guys.
Thanks, guys.